Hey, this is Anthony with Press On Coffee, and today we're working on plumbing the coffee trailer. Originally, I got a gas hot water heater that was instant, which was kind of cool. That's what I originally wanted because it just heats up water when you need it. But it was like 30 inches tall or something. I would have had to mount it on the wall. Probably wouldn't have fit under the sink here. So I pretty much scrapped that idea and had to return it. So I ended up going, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go with electric hot water heater. It has to have a mini tank, but the nice thing about that is that the mini tank can hold the water. You can heat it up in the morning and then shut off the hot water heater and it'll retain the heat. Ordered one, it came damaged, had to send it back after it took forever to get here. And then I actually found this one, like a refurb on eBay for quite a bit cheaper. But I also got a warranty for it for a year for like $10, so it was worth it. I'm hooking up my hot water heater right now. My water tank is right here, as you can probably see. It's kind of a tight space here, but it's kind of good at the same time. I don't have to have a whole lot of hose down here or Pecks. So my Pecks, which is here, it's pretty flexible stuff, but I needed something a little more flexible just because my water tank is right here, and I'm gonna come right out of the water tank into my water pump, which is kind of a pretty short distance, so this reinforced tubing is a little bit more flexible. Hi, buddy. So it'll just connect to this a little bit easier. This hose is pretty flexible. They make a tool that can actually stretch the end of it to fit over your fittings, but if you don't have that, just use a heat gun. This is really cheap. I got from like Harbor Freight. And if you don't have a heat gun, you can actually use a blow dryer as well. I'm just putting in a T-valve here to this PEX. This is the first time using PEX. It's actually so far pretty simple. These little clamps here go over the PEX. You stick your fitting in there. And these crimpers are pretty handy. They're actually cheaper than most of the ones that I've seen online. But this little bite here, you actually bite onto the fitting right there, squeeze it, it's about 6 or 7 times once you're on there, and it lights up when you've crimped it far enough. These are the Pea Traps that I ordered. They're pretty handy, pretty small. Just install it pretty much like you would a regular drain. These pans came with a drain. Had like 2 nuts that these pans came with for their drain, but you just discard those, use the rubber washer, some silicone or some Palmer's putty, and then these just screw right on, which is really nice. Has this spot on it here where you can loosen these 2 screws and turn your Pea Trap, so that way you can have it go in the right direction. Yeah. So turn it. And then you just tighten it back down. Okay, so the Pea Traps you can see here that I installed for the triple sink. Below that is the 2.5 gallon hot water heater. That's electric. There's water that will come in through the water pump, as you can see mounted on the back there. Water comes in through there, goes through that little tiny filter on the left of the water pump. It's like a little strainer. You don't have to have one, but if you have a brand new water pump, they'll void the warranty if you don't have one and something happens to the pump. I mean, cold water comes into the hot water tank, of course, goes out to both sinks, the triple sink and the hand washing sink. That's all for the hot water. Cold water, though, goes to the triple sink, pitcher rid sink, hand wash sink, continues on, gonna connect to the regular drip coffee pot, and then around to the espresso machine. So I ran out of crimps. I need a few more though to finish what I'm doing here. But overall, the PEX was pretty nice. So overall, the PEX was super easy to work with. Made way too many trips to the hardware store, so I recommend just overbuy on all your fittings and your crimps. Just to save yourself some trips. You can always return that stuff, and honestly, it's pretty inexpensive for the most part, especially the plastic fittings versus the brass fittings, and the plastic are just as good. So next I'll be connecting all the drain lines from all my sinks and the espresso machine and stuff, which will be pretty exciting because then I'll actually have some of the equipment in here. But yeah, so thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe, share with your friends. I'll see you next time.